Hello, man here, working in the upstairs bedroom here again today. Soon to be a nursery here, by the way. And we've got just a little bit more electrical work here to do in this room, at least before painting anyway. But once we're done painting, then we can do like all the outlets and all that good stuff, right? But until we paint them, and I don't want to do that, kind of the finishing electrical work, right? But before we paint them, we got kind of two things that I want to do here yet. One, we need to get a smoke detector in this room somewhere yet. And kind of debating on where I want to put this. I'm thinking probably, so this is the door wall here to the stairway. So I'm thinking I'm probably going to go like in between these lights right here. This is what I'm thinking, near the wall, by the way. So this is a combination smoke and carbon monoxide detector. And don't quote me on these rules here, so I'm just remembering off the top of my head. I believe the carbon monoxide detector is was it a maximum of 12 inches from the wall, I think. And then the smoke detector needs to be at least 4 inches from the wall. And you can also put them on the wall too, but I'm going to put it on the ceiling. At least that's my plan, I think, anyway. I could put it on the wall as well, I suppose. Thinking I was probably going to put it on the ceiling, to be honest. I'm just put it up in the corner there. I'm just thinking if I put it on the wall, I'm not going to have to drill down. Yeah, so I'm probably going to do it on the ceiling oven. So we'll do it probably somewhere between that 8 and 12 inch mark from the wall on the ceiling, centered in between these lights. That's kind of what I'm thinking here at this point. That should be a pretty good spot. And then we got one more thing to do in this room here as well. We need to drill a couple larger holes, and I'm thinking those are probably going to go right in the center of this here. I'm thinking. I believe that is the center of the room, if I remember correctly. And those are going to be for speakers up. So we got two speakers to put up in this room here as well. We're going to have, I don't know what you call that. It's just speakers in the ceiling here. So hopefully that'll come in handy here in about a month or so. We'll be testing that out and seeing how that goes. So that should be pretty simple. I got to drill a couple holes for that. And then we got to run some wires. Probably going to run that down to the basement is what I'm tentatively thinking here. At some point, I wouldn't mind too, maybe seeing if we can put some sort of box back behind here somewhere. I'm just hey, all the various, like if you want to run Ethernet, cable, whatever it might be. There's something in the future maybe you want to run in here. Have like a junction box up here, and then it'll split out. I do have, I forget where they are. I think there's one in this wall, and then there's one in the wall behind the camera here, where I ran Smurf tube too. So again, whatever might be in the future, when you want to run something up to those boxes, there's Smurf tube there. As long as you can get it through the Smurf tube, everyone, you can get it into this room without destroying any drywall, right? So, and at the moment, they're just terminating in this attic space back behind the door here. So like I said, maybe at some point it would be nice to maybe put a junction box and then maybe the ceiling. I don't know. We'll see. It's just all thoughts here at this point. If you folks have any comments or suggestions on that, throw it down below. I'd love to hear that. So with that being said, let's get started here on installing the smoke detector. So I think I'm going to climb up in the attic oven. I'm going to find out. There should be a 2x4, I'm guessing, in here somewhere. Looking at the mud job here, I think there's one right in here somewhere. So we're going to see if we can find that. I'm probably going to drill down, or at least maybe I'll do a hole from the top, and then I can drill it from the top, or from the bottom here up, is what I'm thinking. So locate from the top, and then we'll drill from the bottom here up. Okay, but up in the attic here, it's a little warm up here too, I might add. Just finished marking the center of the room right there on that mark. And then measuring from here, everyone, we're about 12 inches right in here. So it might be just a little bit far from the wall, but yeah, I can't really do much about that. Either I go right there, which then I can't do let's see what's here. I gotta remember which way this goes here again. Smoke detector needs to be a minimum of 4 inches from the wall, so that's gonna be too close. The wall is right here, everyone, so can't do the smoke detector there. Carbon monoxide detector needs to be, I think it's a max of 12 inches. So yeah, right in there, everyone, and we should be really close. Okay, we're gonna get this drilled here, everyone. And for this, see if I can line this up here. I might have to put myself another mark here, but yeah, it looks pretty close. Now, when I drill this out, if I drill it right here, I'm just going to put a quick mark there a minute. These boxes, because I want to use a nail-on box here, these boxes have a flat spot in them. So if I drill it right there, I'm probably going to be off by a little bit. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to take this off here. And I'm going to put my mark just a little bit further in. Look right about there. Okay, now we got a hole all the way through, everyone. We can come from the bottom here and drill that here a minute. And just like that one hole. Gotta have these dust shields, Evan. They're like, I would say, mandatory. Oh, look at the ominous shadow of it. Anyway, box has been mounted. Now I'm planning my wire out. I think I'm going to go over here, Evan, and just follow that wire. And then back behind the chimney is the smoke detector here for the other bedroom. So I think we're going to run this way over and then that way. At least that's my thoughts anyway. Okay, we got the holes marked here for our next location, and for those of you with OCD, no, they are not in line with the center one here. I just cannot get them in line here because otherwise that board is going to be that floor joist up there is going to be in the way. So gotta offset them just a little bit, Evan. So yeah, if you have OCD, just look away now, Evan. Look away now. And for those who want to know, I do not have a dust shield that big for that big of a hole saw, so yeah, fun job. Oh well, it's 2 holes, Evan. I'm going to clean this up here a minute, and that should do it for those. Good thing too, because I'd hate to drill any more holes that large, Evan. What a mess. Okay, we got the holes drilled, and we're on top of the other one right underneath the plywood here. Now we're going to work on running the wire here, and for that, I figure I'm going to use a Smurf tube, Evan. So we're going to run the Smurf tube here between these two, and then down the wall, and probably to the basement, I'm thinking. At least that's my tentative plan here at this point. So got a couple holes to drill here, and let's start running some Smurf tube and wire. Okay, and there's our hole up there coming down from the attic. So we're just going to come down this one right here, go underneath the floor, and yeah, fun part, I'm going to have to move some of the stuff out of the way so I can get, we're basically going to run it straight back through that one. And then if you can see the opening back there, right where I think that's a sheet of drywall sticking out there. We need to aim for that spot there. Okay, I've got all the holes drilled along here. I'm debating the best way to do this here. I'm thinking from probably over there up through here, because that should be an easy one to pull through. Pulling through all these might be a bit of fun here, so we'll see if we can get our Smurf tube here. And of course it's blue, by the way, so for those who've never seen Smurf tube before, well, probably because it's blue. Or also another name for that one, instead of Smurf tube, they also call it, gotta remember how this goes, electrical non-metallic tubing. So ENT, right? Instead of EMT, electrical metallic tubing, this is ENT, electrical non-metallic tubing. So anyway, we're going to, like I said, I think we'll just start from over there, and we'll see if we can pull this through. Okay, we got the line all nicely screwed up here, ran underneath the floor all the way along, and then up the wall there and into the attic. I think we're ready to pull some wire through this. Okay, and for feeding the white one, I'm going to use my favorite fiber fish tape here. I should really find a better way of storing this because it, yeah, well, you can see. So anyway, should be able to just push this down through the wire one using the pointy end here. I also have a roller ball and well, it's over here somewhere. Oh, there it is, right up there. Has a roller ball on it one. That also works good as well, but this should be good here for the tube. So let's push that through and see if we can pull some speaker wire up. Hey Siri, call Megan Noseman.
Calling Megan Noseman. Mobile. Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, you got time to check and see when my fish tape comes out in the basement?
Where in the basement?
Down by the electrical panel.
You mean to just let me know when it comes out?
Yep. Yeah, it's weird. It's stuck somewhere.
Goodness gracious, this is a mess. Ow. Okay, the blue thing, I'm assuming?
Yeah, the blue thing down there?
Yeah, the blue thing's down here.
Nothing coming out of it yet, is there?
No, but I can feel it, like, vibrating.
Huh, I am stuck. I cannot get it to go. What the heck? We've never had that before. It only goes so far and it's done. Like there's a kink in it somewhere or something. Yeah, it's stuck somewhere. I don't know where. It's stuck quite a ways down.
Huh?
It's stuck quite a ways down. I'll try the other end here, man. Nothing? Nothing?
I'm not seeing it yet, but it sounds like you got it farther down.
Okay, I need to pull a little more line out here, man. It's all tangled up here.
Hurry, because I got my water boiling for the peas. Oh, feels like you're still moving. There it is.
Got it?
Yep.
Mind pulling just a little bit? Okay. That's good, thank you. And behind the mess of wires, that's my electrical rack up here, everyone. There's our conduit coming down out of the wall right there with our fish tape. Ended up, as you've probably seen in the video there, if I can grab it here, ended up using the ball end of it. I could not get the other end through. Got stuck somewhere along the way, I don't know, but that's where this ball end comes in handy, but it'll roll along a little bit better than, say, just the pointy end. The pointy end must have been getting stuck somewhere, and I just, yeah, could not get it to feed. I tried twice, Evan. Got stuck the same spot each time. So we'll attach our wire to it. I'm also going to attach a pull string. Actually, maybe two pull strings. Well, I've only got one thing of pull string, though. Well, we're going to attach a pull string to it at the very least, Evan, because I need to pull two wires. And I've only got one roll of wire. I wish I had two rolls of wire, and I could pull both wires at the same time. But alas, I do not. So, string and a wire at the same time. Okay, but I didn't go too crazy taping here, but I got my wire and my pull string on there, feeding from the bucket there. Got a whole bunch unraveled. We should be ready to pull. Worst case, I can ask the wife if she can guide this here if it gets stuck, but we're just going to go up there and see if we can pull it. Okay, we got the first wire pulled through. I'll go back down to the basement, I'll cut that off, we'll attach the wire to the pull string, and we'll pull the second wire up. Or maybe not, Evan. Why does that not want to pull? I can tell you folks why, but yeah. Okay, we got wires ran to both locations here. I'm going to go grab the speakers here in a minute, bring them up here, and we'll get them connected. I'm not going to actually put them in the hole yet, though. We got to finish painting down there first before I actually install them, so I'm probably just going to set them up here somewhere, and we're going to give these things a try, hopefully. Okay, we got one speaker wired up here. I am not, however, going to wire up the second speaker, because to my surprise, once I got downstairs, everyone, there was no second wire downstairs. That means this second wire was too short of, and I was not expecting that. I figured I'd have more than enough wire here to run two sets of wires up here, but apparently we're over 50 feet here. I did not realize we were that long. 50 feet from here to the basement does not seem right, but okay. That's what the wire says, Evan, so that's what we'll go with here. Unfortunately, that's all the speaker wire I have here at the moment, so I'll have to wait till I get more speaker wire here to run the second one, but I at least got the first one hooked up here, Evan. So I'm going to see once if I can get this connected here in a minute and see if this works. Hey, there we go, and it works. This is the Sonos app, by the way, so I'm using a Sonos amplifier downstairs that I can connect to on my phone here. This is one of the older models here. I know they're newer models, for those of you who've ever seen the price tag on those, oh my goodness. So, yeah, I got one of the older ones, Evan, so yeah, not too bad here. And then, yeah, we can just pick what we want to play here. For some reason, I got a bunch of, well, I got some of my stuff set up here, like my YouTube music, but it's not working for some reason. It works for the wife, but it does not work for me, so I'm just, I think this should be safe here for the YouTube here. Hopefully we're just playing, I guess it's rain sound here, or we can, white noise. Yeah, white noise, or piano for sleeping. I probably shouldn't play too much of that one. We'll get in trouble probably for playing that one. So back to the rain it is. So anyway, there we go, That is working. Now we got one last, well, actually, okay, I need to run another wire for that one. But then we also need to run one more wire here yet for the smoke alarms yet as well. So we're going to get to that here next. Okay, for our smoke alarm wire here, I've got a 14-3 wire ran up from the basement here. We actually ran this wire here about 3 years ago, believe it or not, back when we ran all the rest of these wires here to the upstairs. This has just been sitting here waiting for this day until we get this all wired up. So, speaking of wired up, Evan, we're actually going to start with the one right there. And then we'll go from here up into the actual attic and get the other two. And then probably at some point, I don't know when, but I should probably run one over to my office as well. I call it an office. Technically, on a building layout plan, it's probably considered a bedroom, everyone. So for those who are not familiar with smoke detector code, you got to have a smoke detector in every single bedroom. And to be honest, it's probably a good idea to have one there anyway. So we'll probably, this might not happen in this video, but at some point we'll probably branch off this one and go to my office there as well. We'll probably just cut across a couple floor joists here and run over that way. And then for those of you maybe not familiar with code here as well, so again, smoke detector on every floor and in every bedroom, and then the same goes for carbon monoxide as well, except instead of bedrooms, you just got to have that, unless of course they change this, everyone should, they very well might. Carbon monoxide just needs to be on every single floor. So carbon monoxide on every single floor, smoke detector on every single floor, plus in every bedroom. That is the current code as far as I know. So, and of course, now here's the interesting part about the code. The code does require them all to be interconnected, hardwired, interconnected as far as I know. And I think it actually specifies like hardwired. So obviously with all these smart wireless smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors that are coming out, here's a question for you folks. Are they code compliant? That's a good question. I mean, I don't know how it works out because they are technically interconnected. However, they are not hardwired. Also, I was just looking like, wow, what happened to the... oh, I guess the nails came up through and blew out. That's what happened there. Okay, just looking. This is the ceiling from HELL, by the way, 4 inches thick. I don't know if you see, like there's a deep box and everything. Like that's a deep box. Look, it's not even sticking up through the ceiling, Evan. It's that far down in there. Same thing with the smoke. Look how far down that smoke detector box is, Evan. Yeah, way down in there, right? And that's I don't know how deep that box is, but it's a fairly deep box. Like it's yeah, this ceiling's something else. Anyway. Okay, we already got that wire coming up from the basement, Evan. We'll run another wire here going up into the attic here, and I just finished drilling a hole down here. I figure there's quite a few wires in that hole already, so we better not put any more in that one, even though there's probably technically room. And let's see, do we want to run behind that, in front of it? I guess we'll probably run in front of it. See if we can do this one-handed here, not Evan. Get some more wire. Okay, and I've got a hole up in here as well. Come on. Oh, he's got to be a stubborn one. There we go. Maybe. Just don't want to go. Now we'll just have to go up there and pull up how much we need. I got a couple extra feet here. We shouldn't have to go very far. It's just past, I think, it's either this bay or this bay, I believe, is where I've got the smoke detector. Our main bedroom is on the other side of this wall, Evan, and that's where I got that one located. So we got to get that one connected to that box. And up in the attic, I see our wire sticking out right there. See if we can get a hold of that here. And like I said, somewhere, I don't remember where exactly under here, is our smoke detector here for the bedroom that's underneath of us. Probably going to pull up a bunch of extra, Evan, just again in the future if this ever changes here, we can put this wherever we want. So yeah, that should be enough. We'll just leave this coiled up here. Again, future, Evan, don't know if that fire or that smoke detector is going to stay there or not, so just in case, we'll have a little extra. And of course, if it doesn't move, well, then we can just cut the wire shorter, right? Okay, box has been located. Let's stuff this wire into it here. That's gonna be a little hard to stuff in there. Let's see if we get it to go like that. Should. There we go. Maybe. And we'll stick a good 6 inches in or so. And this is the one running from the other bedroom right over there. Okay, that should be good. I'll tuck that back up in there. By the way, for those of you who've never seen this before, this is what these retrofit boxes look like when they're winged out. You can see the wings. Obviously, it goes up through there one, and then when you tighten those screws down, those wings fold out and tighten down on that. Okay, we're going to wire up the smoke detector now that we got all the wires ran here. Just take one of these pigtails, and it's pretty much color to color here. As you can see, red to red, black to black, white to white. There is no ground in these pigtails, but of course we are running 14-3 wires, so there's a ground. I just put a Wago on it here, and of course using some of my favorite connectors here. Yes, the Wagos. Definitely loving these connectors. I mean, they make the job really easy. So for those of you who maybe never used those before, they are definitely a little bit more expensive than your wire nuts, of course, of them. But when it comes to connecting, especially solid wire to stranded wire, just you can't beat them in my opinion here. They are really nice. So anyway, I got the wires already done here, but I actually had these done here a couple of days ago. I was actually going to put this up here, but I didn't have the screws here. Apparently these smoke detectors did not come with screws for the boxes, so I had to stop by the hardware store here to get the screws here. But now that I got them, I can put this plate up here. Actually, no, let me tuck these wires in here first a minute. Whoop. Tuck these wires up in here. Plenty of room in that box. And then we'll just have that pigtail hanging down. We'll put that plate up and we can mount the smoke detector / carbon monoxide detector. Okay, when smoke detector / carbon monoxide detector mounted, now we need to go into the basement here and do the final wiring here. We'll probably find somewhere to wire this into, typically like a lighting circuit or something like that. That way, you know, you don't have it on a separate breaker in case that breaker accidentally pops and you never know about it. Although these are battery backups, so in theory, you know, it should still work. It does have the batteries in it, of course, but still. Typically, you put it on like a lighting circuit or something like that. I mean, if I would have thought of it, I could have wired it in right here, but unfortunately, I didn't think that. So we'll wire it into the basement there somewhere, probably like the basement lights or something. We'll go down there and we'll take a look and see what we can find here that can be wired into. And then we'll get the smoke / carbon monoxide detector mounted in the basement here as well. Okay, I'm down in the basement here, getting this all wired up here. So I've got my wire coming down. Let's see here, I believe it's this one right here coming down from the attic. And then I just finished running a power line here into this box. I'm running it from this light over here. Yes, I know this looks a little scary here in this box. I don't have it hooked up yet, by the way. Figured I'll get everything hooked up over there before I hook this one up. Where did my black wire? Oh, that's sticking up in there. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Get that wire down. So yeah, once we're done in that box, then we'll wire this in here. This box, or this whatever you want to call this, is live here at the moment. So yeah, that's why I didn't connect those until I'm done here. We need to connect our lead here yet, put the smoke detector up, and then we should be ready to connect that box up, and we'll have some live working smoke detectors here finally, and like I said, and carbon monoxide. Okay, just like that, smoke detector / carbon monoxide detector all installed. There is like a certain orientation this goes on and it will lock, and I don't know if they have like an indicator on here. I'll have like look like which way does this go here, because this lock and tab will lock them on, and like I had to try all 4 of the ways it'll go before that one actually locked. You know, go figure, right? I know one of the ones upstairs I got it right in the first try. The other one I think it took me 3 tries. It's like, I don't know, maybe I'm missing something, but I am not. Normally they put a marking on here like start here, like align these and then twist, right? But I don't know, maybe I'm missing them. I'm not seeing it on those. Anyway, we'll get this wired up here in a minute. We'll have power to this. You might notice I left all the battery tags in yet of one. I figure we'll get this all wired up here, then we'll go around and pull the battery tags, and we should be ready to fire this system up. Okay, finished wiring up the power. We got the light flashing. It also just told me a low battery, which is probably not the case. We just need to pull this out. Hopefully that's actually out of there. I think it is, right? I think that actually pulls the battery out. Make sure that's up in there. And, do we want to push the button? Stand back. Hello? Oh.
Fire.
Yeah, I heard you the first, yay.
Warning, carbon monoxide.
I know if folks can hear that, it sounds like an echo. I don't know, like I said, if the camera's picking that up. Oh, it just stopped. But there, the one in the living room is somewhere above us here. It's actually probably a little further down that way. I can hear that one going off, so that's a good sign. I'll have to make sure I write the date of installation on these here as well. Make sure you do that so you know when they're installed. One thing to note too, Evan, like do not paint. So, and these come with protective covers. So this is why we didn't put these up until we were done painting up in the bedroom there. And, you know, we're probably not done painting in this house, Evan, so when the time comes, I will probably be slapping some of these covers back over some of these, or I'll just, like, temporarily take them down. It's not that hard, just twist them off, you know, pop the wiring harness out, and we'll go set them off somewhere, you know, different room or something like that temporarily. Because, again, you don't want to be painting or doing any type of work like that with these around. You know, if we're cutting out drywall, plaster. Well, there's no plaster or drywall down here, but you get the idea, right, Evan? We don't want to be doing that. So let me go around, make sure these are all working, pull the battery tabs, write some dates on these, and we're about ready, I think, to call this video a wrap. Okay, and yet another step towards getting this room ready to go here. We got the smoke and carbon monoxide detectors installed, and actually throughout the entire house hardwired here now. So that's one, you know, check box done. Also, Evan, well, we'll get to this here in a minute. I've got one other thing done here as well. Yes, the ceiling, or the speakers are now up in the ceiling here. Since the beginning of this video of it, I've been working on painting this room here as well. So kind of in tandem with this video, because again, I gotta wait for like the paint to dry here before I go on to the next step, right? So while the paint's drying, I'm up here wiring, or down there wiring, whatever it might be. So yes, this room is now completely painted, everyone. And this is the color the wife chose here. I don't know how well the camera picks it up. It's kind of a I don't know, like a light green, I guess you'd call it here. I don't know, maybe we got a better color name for it. But anyway, I'd call this like a really light green. I think it looks pretty good. I got the ceiling painted as well. So again, like I said, this room is completely painted. We did make sure we put primer on the walls first. And then 2 coats on the ceiling, 2 coats on the wall. And yeah, I think it turned out pretty good here, one. Definitely looking nice here. Got all the lights installed up on the ceiling as well. Got all the protective film plastic ripped off the lights, so it's nice to actually see what the lights actually look like. Up until this point, they've all had their protective film and stuff on them. Speakers, I think they look okay. I have 4 speakers. I bought all of these. I think they were all supposed to be new, I think. Got them on eBay, so I didn't pay a whole lot for them, but I've got 2 of the same color, which is what I put up in here. They were all supposed to be white, everyone. I've got one that is actually like white, probably maybe not quite as white as the ceiling, and then I've got like a really yellow one. So it's like, what the heck? So I got like 3 shades of white. I chose the 2 shades of white that kind of match up there. Anyway, you folks want to hear what the speakers sound like here. I've got it hooked up to my phone here, and I think I can play this audio here. We'll find out. If not, everyone, well, we might have to cut this part of the video out. We'll see once here. But if not, here we go. For those who wonder what we're playing. Okay, so I'll pause that on. You know, again, you're not getting like any bass like you would from maybe a subwoofer, but I think those are some pretty good sounding speakers. These are Klipsch. I think they were like 1650s or something like that, if I remember the model number correctly, for those of you who might be curious here. So these are Klipsch ceiling speakers, and I think they were, I don't remember, I think there were like some letters on front, but they were like a 1650 ceiling speaker. I think it's 6-inch. I think these are 6-inch ceiling speakers, if I remember correctly. And so, yeah, overall very happy with them. I like them. They sound pretty good here, if you ask me. Actually, you know what? Change what I said. These might be 8-inch, because the lights are 6-inch. So maybe these are 8-inch. I don't know, whatever. They're like 1650s or something like that. Fairly cheap speaker if you want to, yeah, get a speaker like this, Evan. You can find them on eBay pretty much all day long. And like I said, they're not overly expensive. So anyway, yeah, with that, you folks have any comments or questions, be sure to leave them down below. The next video you see will probably be trim, I think, going in this room. I think that's going to be the next step. And then at some point, too, maybe this will happen. I'm not sure which order here, but we also got to do all the final electrical. And then we got a ceiling fan that needs to go up in here yet as well. So a couple more videos coming up here yet. So with that, thanks for watching. If any folks have any comments or questions, be sure to leave them down below. And until next time.